All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Right. Please give me a few seconds. I'd just like to confirm that we are live on YouTube. All right. Yes, everyone, welcome to today's webinar. Today's session is Biology to Cybersecurity featuring Mr. Opeyemi Kolawole. We are actually meant to be, I'm meant to have my team partner on this call, but she's unavoidably absent, right? So I'll be doing most of the talking. Well, I hope I perform very well. All right, so welcome everyone. Stella, Winner, I can see you all. Gabriel, you are all welcome. So I'm taking the introduction. I'll be taking the introduction just a few minutes, right, about the community and what we do. So this is the CyberCrooners community. It's one that is set, right, to bridge the gap between learners and the industry. So we are building the next generation of young cybersecurity professionals so that they can have enough knowledge to thrive in the industry. We have noticed that there is a gap between those in the industry and we that are learning, right? So we want to bridge that gap, and that's why we're here. Like I always say, it's not just a group, it's not just a community, it's more of a family, right? And I always say we need to have each other's back. So every month we bring in incredible guests, just like Mr. Okwe. This is our fourth session, right? We have, brought in incredible guests from January to now, and we're still continuing to do that. I hope that in the previous sessions you have taken some things with you. I have obviously I haven't seen feedback from previous sessions, so I hope this will not definitely, and this will not be any different, right? So right now I'll be introducing Mr. Okwesa. I'll be reading his citation in a bit. All right, so yes, Mr. Okwe has over 6 years of hands-on experience. He has a BSc in biology from the prestigious University of Ilorin and a professional course in cybersecurity from San Diego University in the US. He has over 20,000 LinkedIn followers and also a very great following on YouTube too as well. He brings to the table exceptional expertise as a cybersecurity professional. His focus lies in the realm of penetration testing and red teaming, where he has consistently showcased my abilities to detect and mitigate vulnerabilities across integrated network infrastructures and applications. Through comprehensive security assessment, it delves deep into integrated layers of digital defense, offering strategic insights and recommendations to fortify the overall security and cybersecurity landscape. He has over 23 certifications under his belt, including the prestigious OSCP, CPTS, and is also CR2 certified. He's a great man doing great things. He's an inspiration to so many people trying to break into the industry. So without missing much of our time, I would like us to give Mr. Okwe a digital round of applause as he comes to take on this adventure. Good morning, Mr. Okwe. We can't hear you, sir.
How about now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry about that. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. And I appreciate the intro. What was your question? I think I missed that.
Sorry?
I think you asked me a question, right?
No. I said that the stage is now yours. You can take us on this wonderful adventure. So we are expected to like share your screen and the presentation slides, sir.
Oh, okay. Give me a second.
Yes, sir. And we don't know if you can also turn on your camera so everyone can see your face because we're also streaming on YouTube. So
Okay, give me one sec.
Okay.
Mm, okay. Share screen. Can you see my screen share, right? Okay. Camera, where is it? Make sure you can see me correctly. Okay, I think my camera is up. Yeah, can you guys see me? Okay. All right, thanks again for bringing me up here. I appreciate you a lot. And good morning. About 12, I think it's 11:16 now here. So yeah, before I appreciate the intro as well. You've said a lot of things about me already, so I don't want to repeat everything you've said. But I'll just keep up, by telling you guys my background, the passion I have and the purpose of this talk, presentation, webinar, basically. So I have a background in animal biology, basically, and it's something I never imagined myself, or let me say, being in the tech industry, right? But right from when I was in the university, then I I am a kind of person that's my love for problems, to solving problems, and curiosity about different things, has led me to kind of explore different paths, right? So, and this is why I just want to share with you guys how I kind of transition into cybersecurity and what has helped me, along the way. When I was in school, then I used to do a lot of script kiddie stuff. You do a lot of things and you don't even know how you do it, or you don't even know the technology behind it. You just know that you attempted this thing and it worked for you, right? So I do a lot of crazy stuff then, and I don't even know anything about what I'm doing. I'm just breaking things and doing. But then back in the days, think about between 2007 to 2010, technology wasn't that, like now we don't even have all the social media things. So it's very, very difficult to be on social media at that time. But you can imagine someone trying to, break stuff, then hack into things that with less knowledge and less technology. I don't believe there's any school offering cybersecurity at that particular time. So it was really, really crazy. And I was in university at that time. So, but when I moved to the US, I was like, okay, a lot of opportunities here. You can always, that's one thing about this country, you can become whoever you want to become. If you want to become a good person, you will. There's a chance for you. And if you want to do the other way around, it's also available. So you have to pick your choice. So when I came here, then I feel like, okay, since I have interest in, understanding about cybersecurity, and I decided to kind of step into the game and see how this field can benefit me, and also how I can be a very productive person to the community, and how I can be a better version of myself and all that. So that is how I kind of transition. But before we get to that, um, I kind of have a passion in solving problems and all that. I read about data breaches, about on different companies, let's say state care systems and all that. So that's kind of you know made me realize how important digital security is, and kind of sparked my curiosity on that. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I read online articles, things like that. So what I just want to say in terms of this, purpose of this talk is to, inspire you guys. You can always be whoever you want to become. And one thing about cybersecurity is that you can come from any background. That's one thing about it. Is you can't do that in any other field. You know, if you don't have any experience in cybersecurity, you can pick it up and start, and start the journey and you succeed. But yeah, to be able to be successful in this, there are some key points that need to that you need to focus on, which we're going to get into as well. So let me move to the next slide. Okay. So discovering cybersecurity. So this is what I said earlier in terms of exposure to you know being exposed to what is going on online. You have to be up on your game. You have to be able to read blogs. You have to know what is going on in the cybersecurity space. That's one thing. Knowledge is very, very important. So it's the knowledge you have that you're going to transfer, into practical. So if you read about something, you understand it, you have the knowledge already. The practical aspect of it is if we even come easier when you come to that is one thing that is affecting a lot of people. A lot of people are lack the knowledge. They focus more on the practical, but the knowledge part of it is very, very, very important. And a lot of people also, when you're doing an interview or if you were going for any kind of job interview, they ask you some questions based on on not let me say knowledge based question. They want to see what you do. They want to see how exposed you are and all that. So knowledge is very, very important. Reading a lot of content, watch videos of take notes. All these things helps a lot. I won't lie to you. And for the fact that there is, and one thing I want you to know is a lot of people, there's competition in this, not competition, but if you think you've known a lot, trust me, you don't know nothing, right? Is a lot of things changes every time. There's constant change every time within the field. So which is why it's a little bit difficult, especially if you're the kind of person that is you do one today, you go down tomorrow, you are not consistent. It's going to affect you, and this field will I would say it's not for you if you can't, be consistent in your research, in your online training, in your online article reading and all that. So that is very, 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 very important. And we are in the digital era now. Security is very, very important. We all use internet, we all use mobile devices, we all use, laptops and all that, all of these devices. And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people that have some device, they don't even know. Some people even have a mobile device, they don't even know what to use, how to use it. You know, once they have YouTube or they watch movie on their phone or they play game or they make calls and that's all they do. But there's a lot of things you can use your mobile device to do. There's a lot of things you can learn from it. So and all these things, you have to create awareness. You have to be exposed. A lot of people can't even recognize a phishing email, or if someone's smith you, you don't even know all these pretext and all that. So that's why a lot of people fall victim of scam and account takeover and all those things. So all this awareness is also very, very important. You have to, be able to make yourself visible and be able to learn as much as you can because things changes every time. So when it comes to cybersecurity also have different, specialization where you can specialize on. you have different fields within the cybersecurity space. It's not only penetration testing, it's not only ethical hacking. You have a lot of other fields within the space. You have forensic analysis, analysts, digital forensic, incident responder, cybersecurity analysts, cybersecurity engineers, a lot of different field within space. So you have to be able to identify your strength at the same time. Not everybody wants to be a penetration tester, because of how rigorous it can be sometimes. And you have to be able to identify your own strengths, and you have to pick what interests you. That is very, very important. Interest is very, very important. You can't, if you don't like penetration testing and you go for it, even if you should eventually get a job, you won't enjoy that job and you won't do well. So one thing that will keep you growing is the interest you have in that particular field. Like me, I can be on, I've done pen testing, like I can be on my system 10 hours straight. I've done that before. The only thing I just do, I just have water on my side and I drink. Sometimes I forget that I've not even eaten in a day, So sometimes I might be doing training, personal training and development. I'll be stuck on something. I'll be there hours, 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 and all that. So not everybody can do that. Some people get tired and just get bored. You get overwhelmed. But like I said before, persistence is the key. So all these things you have to discover about yourself. Know your ability, know your strengths. If you feel like ethical hacking or penetration testing is not for you, don't go for it. There are a lot of other fields that you can research and look into. We have even have data science, with data analysts, it's still part of the cybersecurity. Some people, if you're good in data, you can also look into that. And so many other fields like that. So discover yourself, discover your ability, discover your capability. I know a lot of people, if you are still very young, like if you're still in your early or mid 20s and you're in the cybersecurity, congratulations to you. I wish I have that kind of opportunity then, because as you get older, it becomes tougher for you. Especially once you have family and you start to have responsibilities, it's going to be very, very difficult. And your learning will going to reduce because your attention will be divided. You have your family to take care of, you have your kids to attend to, you have some other things to go to. So you won't have much time to study like before. Before, like let me say like 5 years ago, I can stay, I can study for hours, you know, but now I can't do that because I have so many other responsibilities to take care. So I plan my week like, okay, maybe one day or maybe Saturday I can say 2 hours or 3 hours for studies, and that is the only time I have for the week compared to before. So all these things are very, very important. If you're still in your early 20s or mid 20s, and you are not committed to doing a lot of things, take that time and learn as much as you can. I was talking to one of my colleagues last week at work. He's a very young guy. He's still in his early 20s. I think he's 23 years old, and he's a very, very brilliant guy. So he's taking the advantage. By the time he gets to like 30 years old, he must have become maybe like a VP in a company or something, or even a CISO. Because now, right now, this guy is engineer three at my job. So before you get to an engineer three, is a senior. It's not a mid level. It's a senior position at 23 years old. He's 20 years old guy. So take that advantage. Learn as much as you can. Discover your ability. Discover what interests you, your passion, and all these things will help you, as you grow. So let's go to the next slide. So let's say transferable skills from biology. So if you look at this uh, biology, you see they are not really even close. Biology, cybersecurity, they are opposites. But there are still some skills that I was able to transfer with this uh, degree. You know, Let me say, many people think that science degree isn't relevant in tech, but biology uh, kind of gave me a critical skill, analytical thinking, details, observation, structure, problem solving. All this helps to tackle security problems. So whatever field you have been before, or wherever you are right now, maybe you are trying to transit into cybersecurity, you can always bring something from that particular field to your new to the new field. No knowledge is lost. No knowledge is lost. Like I said, when it comes to attention to details, it has helped me a lot. I take notes, I pay attention to details, I observe things a lot, you know, all these all these skills are transferable. So also, I don't know if you are, if you're there and you are in different field, maybe you're trying to transit in cybersecurity. Think of what you can bring in from that field into cybersecurity. You can't tell me there's nothing you can bring from there. There's no skill you can bring from that your previous field. You can always bring something new that will help you grow very well in cybersecurity. But for me personally, when it comes to analytical thinking and details observation, and also when it comes to structuring your problem solving skills, to tackle different kind of security problems, this field has helped me to achieve that when I transit into cybersecurity. So that is the insight I want to give you guys on these transferable skills from biology. It might not be biology for you. It might be something else, but you can always think of what can I transfer from where I am to this new place. There is always something. There will be something you can transfer. That is one thing about that. So now let's look at the first steps into tech. You know, uh, self-learning through free and affordable platforms. So we all know all these TryAcme platform, ActiveBox, all these are available to us. TryAcme is even more cheaper than ActiveBox, and I always recommend TryAcme for newer or beginners because they are well detailed, well explanatory. They are not really complex, and the subscription is affordable. Even if you don't have subscription, there are free rooms or labs on the platform that you can use that you don't have to pay for. So I always encourage utilizing all this online training platform. I use it a lot. I have different. Is even this year? Is it this year? I try to cut all this online subscription because they're just charging me. I don't even have time to use them again. I have so many, and I always do annual subscription on all these platforms. I have the boss track me. I have annual subscription, Pen Tester Lab, all this. I have annual subscription on all of them. And I was like, this year, I think I used a lot on ActiveBus more, and I decided to cut, the rest. I'm not paying for subscription for that. I just keep one, But you don't have to waste that kind of money. I feel like it's a waste for me because I can count the number of times I've been in pen tester lab within 1 year. I don't even have the time, and I paid a lot of money for the subscription. So, but what I'm trying to say is, all these platforms are available for us to learn, to build yourself, because I myself am nobody is perfect, nobody knows everything. I still learn a lot of things every blessed day. Every blessed day. There was one day I finished one part in ActiveBox, and when I finish a part like that, I always go back to revisit them. And anytime I revisit a particular lab or module, I still learn something new because I feel like, how did I miss this thing? This wasn't in my notes when I did it at the first time. Wow. I was in a particular module last week. I was just revisiting it, just looking at it, and I saw something that I didn't even add to my notes. I feel like, how did I miss this part? Something very nice that I can easily, use at my job. So you can always use this platform to learn and build yourself every time. They update content, they put a lot of new content out there every blessed time. So let's try to use all these platforms to learn. And personally, uh, I also encourage you to learn the basic. The basic is very, very important. The basic is what you're going to build on. learn the basic like networking and operating system, understand what operating system, understand how they work. If you don't understand how networking work or network works or networking, if you don't understand how operation or different operating system works, how are you going to break into it? It's not possible. So understand all these basics. So you have to know all those things, everything. That's why they call it basic. Understand different TCP ports, understand different services, understand what they do. All these things are very, very basic, things that you have to know. And also one thing I always encourage is to find community of different and like Discord group, Slack. We have a lot of groups in Discord. I also belong to different groups on Discord where I just go there and see what is there, learn some things. I can reach out to people if I have some questions, things like that. This will help you, this let me say Discord group help me to kind of stay motivated and learn faster because so many talented people out there that are much more brilliant than me. And when I see something like that, I always check them. If I try to read about a blog or if they post something, if I don't understand, I will reach out to that particular person, ask a question, about it and see, get a solution from it. That's how you learn. That's how you learn. And one thing I always tell people when you start, learning this cybersecurity stuff, always have a target. That is what helped me out. When I started, I always I put everything I want to learn a week on my schedule. Okay, I'll say Monday, maybe I want to do networking, for example, maybe a lab of networking. Tuesday, I will pick another thing. Wednesday, I'll pick another thing. Thursday, I will go back to all the three, review them. Friday, I will go back to another thing. So I do it weekly and I do it consistently for 6 months. And after 6 months, I realized that I've learned a lot of things. As I'm doing that, I'm taking notes. I have a notion that all my notes are all there from basic to the advanced, So if you do that consistently, trust me, if you go back and think of where you start, you discover that you've learned a lot of things. And that is how you can also build yourself. So have some specific time to study. Don't go a week without studying. It's not, you won't learn, you won't grow. That is one thing. Don't go 2 days. Even sometimes you don't have to, yes, it's myself, it's not every time I sit on my computer and started hacking into things. Sometimes I might be on my phone, I've just be reading different blogs and different things. That is knowledge. So it's not every time you sit on the computer and start, no, you can be on your phone, you can just lay down, you can just lay down somewhere and just open your phone and Google something and research about things. You acquire knowledge through that. So I also will encourage, you guys to take that approach. It has worked for me in the past, and most of even my students, because I train some people as well here. Most of my students, that is the approach I always tell them, and it's been working for them as well. So also have plan, have your schedule and stick to it. You don't have to rush. Don't say that, oh, there's so much to learn. I have to learn it. You can't learn everything as well. It's step by step. Take one at a time. Take one topic, learn about it that week. Take another one another week. That's how you start to build yourself. Before you know it, it becomes part of you. That's one thing about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is beyond just profession. It's more like something that is your part of your daily activities. It's part of you. Like myself now, I think of security every time. If anything happens, my thinking goes to the security part of it. That is the way I'm thinking right now, and that is how I've moved myself. So if anything happens, I just look at the security part of it. There was a time I was trying to make a payment on the website, and that website was having issue. And whenever I try to refresh, it will bring out some logs on the page, on the web page. And these logs will display the username, administrator, the lot of information on the back end that's not supposed to be exposed outside. I had to take screenshots. I Googled their security department and I sent that screenshot that they should fix it, because anybody can abuse it. So I take note of a lot of things. Even when I'm doing anything on the internet, I take note of a lot of things. So when you start to make it part of your life, the way you think will start to be different. You start to have, be having good impact in the society, be able to talk about different things, have some experience too. So that is one thing I would like to share on this part. Or let me say I would like to emphasize more on this slide. So let's move to the next one. So overcoming challenges. So this is very, very, very important. See, I was talking to my colleague. I think we had some conversation this week as well. And there will be a time that you don't want to do anything, you don't want to study. You won't just have that energy. It happens a lot. Imposter syndrome, or if you fail one time, you be like you can't make it. That is one thing. You feel like, how can I make this thing? I like my last post I posted, I did CAPE exam 3 times. I passed it on my fourth attempt. Can you imagine that? Failing an exam 3 times. I've never failed any exam 3 times in my life. I was, my first attempt was that exam was 10 days exam. I had 0 points on my first attempt. I couldn't even find a foothold at all on my first attempt for 10 days. That like I was shocked myself, like what's going on. I was like, I'm not going to give up. Second attempt, I think I had 40 points within 10 days. And most of all this time I'm dedicated to the exam, I try to take break from work because I want to focus on it. Sometimes maybe during the work days, I might take out of 5 days, I might take 3 days off to do this exam so that I can focus very well on it. And at the end of the day, I still failed. Third attempt, I managed to get to 50 points. It was very, very, very crazy. And I started to have like, because you can't make it, like, just forget about it. Things like, but I talked to different folks that more senior colleagues. They were like, guy, don't give up, keep trying. And it's not about keep trying, I'm also spending money, right? So it's even crazy. That's why I feel for a lot of people, if they fail any exam, especially when OSCP, like for example, is about 1650. I don't know how much they sell it now, but that is huge. That is a lot of money. And imagine someone spending that kind of money for one attempt, one exam attempt, and you fail it. Yeah. That person, a lot of people will quit. Like, this thing is not for me again, you know. So this is how imposter syndrome setting. You start to think like you're not worthy of it, or let me say you start to think that you don't know anything. But trust me, you might think you don't know anything, but a lot of people are looking up to you that they want to get to your level. As you're looking up to being someone else's level, a lot of people are also looking into you. But imposter syndrome can kill if you are not careful. So, and when you have something like that, when that is happening to you, you can easily take a break, take a break for some time, think of different things, change your mindset from what you're like. Like sometimes if I'm working, I'm stressed out at work, right? After that, I would just take a walk. I just stroll out on the street and I change my mindset. So I start to think about something, maybe something around me, or I see something, or I see a car that is nice. I was like, oh, this car is nice. That has changed my thinking from that particular thing that's going on. So I started to think about different things. So all these things can help you to do, like, that's what they say, you have to balance this up. You start feeling down like that when you start getting stressed about anything, take a break from it. Think about, or you can even pick your phone and call your friend, have a joke, laugh. And by the time you laugh, by the time meet your guys, gist and all those things, you must have forgotten about, what you were thinking before. That helps you to reset a lot. I remember when I did my OSCP, uh, I was stuck in a particular point, and once I break that point, I'm already that is the end. I was stuck for about 6 hours, and you know what? I just decided to sleep. I slept for 4 hours, and when I woke up, it was like I dreamt about how to solve that particular thing. And when I woke up, I got into my computer like this, and I was able to solve that thing within 10 minutes. So the sleep I took, you know, reset my brain. and it's helped me to kind of make my brain relax, my body calm. Or because even when I write an exam, anxiety settings, a lot of things setting you. You don't want to feel, you don't, and it's you can be overwhelmed with all these things. So you have to find a way to balance things up. And also, like I said, like I should have seen in my slide, managing full-time work. I work full-time and I still study. It's not easy. I work full time 9 to 5. Sometimes I get to work 9, I get off work 6:30 sometimes, depends. And that is my whole day. My whole day is gone. Now I get up like 6 p.m. And what do you want me to do at that point? I'm already tired. So it's not easy. And imagine doing that 5 days a week. You only have weekend for yourself. Weekend that you have for yourself, you want to run errands, you want to do some things, you should catch up with some things you've missed, you know. By the time you know it, you are back on Monday. And that is how it is every day. So it's not easy to study and work at the same time. This is also a very big challenge for people in the cybersecurity space. It's very, very tough to balance work full time with studying. But at the same time, you still have to try. You have to keep moving and try your best. Staying consistent and motivated, yes, you have to be motivated, you have to be consistent. I failed the exam, but I was still consistent. I was still like, no, I'm just like, I'm going to pass this exam. No matter how long it's going to take me, I'm going to pass it. You have to be consistent in your studies. You have to, like myself, I have different platforms I use to research. All those platforms, they update their research base every time. And you see different things every day. So this is also very, very important. This is also one of the you can you overcome challenges in the within the cybersecurity. Now, when it comes to gaining hands-on, hands-on experience is very, very important, especially when it comes to ethical hacking operation testing. You have to have your, virtual lab setup. Virtual lab is very, very important. This is where you practice different attacks. This is where you get familiar with different environments, how you can hack into different systems. You don't have excuse. I always tell people, don't tell me you have excuse of not having hands-on experience. You can set up lab or in the cloud. Even if you don't have cloud, if you don't have a computer, you can use cloud environments. I know it can be very expensive sometimes. Depends. Everybody pocket is different, but if you have a computer that you can use, you can be able to set up lab on it and use it to practice, participate in capture the flag challenges. Yeah, this also helps to motivate you to kind of, meet different people, have different idea. There's always there's not there are different, I would say numerous ways to hack into things. You might have your own one way. Another person, like one time in 2023, is it in 2022, I was doing a walkthrough challenge with someone. And this person solved this challenge before I solved it. And when I try to read his blog post when he posted it, his approach was totally different from mine. Even though we end up, with the same goal to kind of achieve same thing, but the way he achieved his own is so different. The approach is so different from mine. And I learned a lot of things from that particular blog when he posted, like, wow. And my own approach was even longer than his own. His own was even quicker. So I gained something from it. So, all this CTF helps to, give you experience, hands-on experience. You can always transfer all this knowledge into the real world. You also, you have to be able to, volunteer and do small projects. No project is small. There is one. I remember one time when when I was in school, they gave us hands-on practical a project that we should do something different. Everybody. You know what I did? I had to use Python to develop a tool that you can use to detect something within the network. Especially when there's an man in the middle attack, it can detect any man in the middle attack within the network. And I wrote it with Python. So project like that, if I put it on my resume, when your employer wants to, check your resume, they will say, oh wow, this is cool. This person do this person do that. It will help you. No project is small. You can always, use all these projects to, boost your resume, make yourself visible to people. and it will also help you in hands-on experience. You will gain a lot of knowledge from it. You gain a lot of experience on it as well. So always try to participate in small projects. You can collaborate with someone else. It doesn't have to be you. If you want to do something big, you can look for someone who has more experience than you. You can collaborate with that person and you both work on it. And you will gain also from it. You will learn a lot from it as well. So small projects also, will help you when it comes to hands-on experience. So now let's look at certification and training. So as we all know, certification is something that employer takes serious within the cybersecurity. Certification shows your ability, shows what you know, right? Even though these days certification is not really how it is before. If I do any certification, I do it for learning. I do the training and I do it for learning. It's not for the people. I don't really care about it. Especially at this level I am right now, I don't really care about certification like that. Not because I'm looking for a job. I have a full-time job. Right now, I'm just doing certification for learning purposes. That is the major reason for me. A lot of people have different motives for doing it, but me personally, it's just for training myself, testing my knowledge and skill at the same time. If I enroll for any course, and if I feel like, okay, I need to test my knowledge on this, I will definitely write that exam. And whether pass or fail, I will write it. And that will demonstrate your knowledge on what you've learned in that course. So certification is, I've seen a lot of controversies on certification, but for me personally, I always encourage it for people. Take them to demonstrate your skill. When you submit your resume to a recruiter and they review it, they don't know you, they have not seen you before. Your resume will speak for you. Is what is on your resume that they're going to use to analyze you. Okay, this person has OSCP. Okay, they must be very good in this. Okay, this person has this. Oh, he has done this project before. Okay, that is what they will use to. That's why your resume has to be very, very good. So they will look at your resume and be like, okay, let's invite this guy. Let's talk to this guy, right? So certification is also one of them. If you have numerous certifications, I have a lot of certifications, a lot. And most of the time, I don't put all of them on my resume because if I put all of them on my resume, nobody wants to employ me. Like this guy has all the certifications in the world. I don't like to do that. In my resume, I only have about maybe like 3 or 4 certifications. I don't, well, I put the advanced one. So, but I don't like to put a lot of certifications. But, if you are still trying to land your first job, try to put some certification, advanced certifications, maybe OSCP is one of the, even though OSCP is, I won't say is like the gold standard, but it's the gold standard anyways. That is what a lot of employers, especially in the US here. If you don't have OSCP, they don't really care about any other certification. But right now, the certifications are growing now, and a lot of people are recognizing them. But that's how you have to, like myself, when I did OSCP, I've already had a lot of certification. But at that, I was like, okay, let me just have this OSCP. Not for anything. I had full-time job even that time. It's not like I was looking for a job when I wrote OSCP. No. I was like, okay, let me just have it for having sake. Because sometimes when you get employed, your employer will require you to have some certification. It's going to be a requirement. They will tell you within 6 months you must get the certification. Within 6 months you must get the certification. Some employer does that. So I don't want to be in a situation whereby I will be under pressure. So most sometimes I'll just get all the certification in case my employer say, okay, you guys go and get OSCP. I want you guys, all of you guys in this team to get OSCP. I already have it, so I don't have anything to worry about again. So sometimes I just like to take all this education, but most importantly, the training part of the certification is very, very important. Take the training serious. I enroll for 3 courses right now from White Knight Labs. I don't have plan to do the exam. I only took the training and I enjoy it. I love the training, but I'm not going to write the exam because I don't feel like I need it. Right. So the training part of it is very, very important. The lab portion of it, learn as much as you can from it. All those things you can transfer it to your job. If you have a job today, you transfer all those skills to your job. So certification, I always encourage it. Try as much as possible to have some good certification. Choosing certification based on interest and job goals. So yeah, if you are applying for a red team role, you know that you must have some red team certification. If you're applying for a pen testing role, you must know that you have some pen testing certification. If you are applying for a web application pen tester, you must know that web application pen testing certification is important. So they all work hand in hand. If you have a good certification, you have better chance. So for example, if two people submit resume to me, maybe let me say I'm a recruiter, and I see one that has a lot of certifications and experience on it, and the other one also have experience but doesn't have certification. Trust me, I as a recruiter will look into the one that have the certification first. I will call him first to talk to that person. Now that is how the recruiter look into resume. If they feel like this person have experience but it doesn't have certification, how do we even know he knows this thing? There's nothing to demonstrate your skill. You will understand. So you have higher chance of having an interview when you have certification. I always tell people, I encourage people, try to get some of them. You don't have to get all of them, but few important ones, always try to get them. It will boost your chances and your resume, especially when you're applying for jobs. So that is for certification and formal training. Now, landing my first role. My first role, I think when I finished school, it took me about 6 months to get my first job in cybersecurity. It was tough. You know why? Because then I'm still very much new in the US. I don't know their interview, how they do interview, all those things. It was pretty much new to me. So after I finished school, I already have about 6 certifications before I even finished school, 6 or 7 about that time. And I started applying for jobs. I was getting a lot of interviews, but I wasn't performing in the interview. So I had to like go back again to study how you answer questions during interview, how you can prepare for interview. All those things are very, very important. Networking and mentorship, that is what we do on LinkedIn. I've met a lot of good people on LinkedIn that up to today we still talk. I still text them what's going on, things like that. We still talk, we still, you know, share ideas and all that. That is one thing. That's why networking is very, very important. LinkedIn is one of the platforms I use for that. So I'll network with a lot of different professionals, different senior professionals that I can always slide into their DM whenever I have question. It's also very, very important. Your resume, I have said before, relevant projects that you don't have to do big projects. Like I said, encourage yourself in small projects. All these things will be put in your resume, and this is what can help you to land your first role. This is one of the things that has helped me as well. I have a lot of projects on my resume. Once they see that, they believe that, oh wow, this guy has done this before, this guy has done this before, he has experience in a lot of things because you are participating in different projects and you can use it on your resume. So it's very, very important whenever you want to land your first role. Project participation or your skills is very, very important when you put it on your resume. Internship, freelance, and contract. Yes, most of the time, some people have opportunity of freelancing or internship. Internship most of the time helps you. Like my colleague I told you earlier, he joined the company I work for as an intern, and the permanent team. Now he's an engineer 3 from Intel, and he's been with the company for about 5 or 6 years. You understand? So it helps a lot. If you have the opportunity to apply for any internship, go for it. If you have if you want to do freelancing, I don't encourage freelancing more, but it's still part of something that could help you because I don't believe, doing something you don't get paid for. Because you are putting a lot of energy in it, you're putting your time, you're putting in a lot of things, and every day you don't get paid for it. So even though it's still part of ways you can demonstrate all this, but you should be able to do something that can also give you a reward. So contract role, yes, I've done contract before. I've done 8 month contract, 10 month contract job before. It can also, when it comes your way, take it. It's going to be a good experience for you. Don't wait till you get a full-time job. Sometimes I've seen a lot of people that it's contract job they've been doing from the whole of their career. They've been doing contract job, and contract job sometimes help because you learn a lot of things in different environments. You work with this client, you have different environments. You move to another company, work with another company you have different environments. So it helps you even as a tester to have different experience in different with different technology because you're working with different environments. So you have different technological experience. So contract job or contract role is also one of the ways. And sometimes they can permanent you. They have seen people that they hire as a contractor, and at the end of the day, they permanent them. Even at my job, someone celebrated a couple of months ago. He's been with the company for 5 years as a contractor, and he was opportune to be permanent as a full-time employee with the company. So if you do a good job, the company can decide to give you a full-time opportunity. So when contract role comes your way, don't waste it. Just go for it. So career growth and lesson learned. So when we talk about um, career progress, so from junior role, like myself, I never had the opportunity to work as a junior tester in my life. Everybody journey is different. Me personally, I landed my first role as it's a mid-level position, not even entry level. So yours might be different, but wherever you find yourself, you have to keep learning. You have to learn how to collaborate with teams. That helps you a lot. It will help you to grow when it comes to that. Contribute to projects, contribute a lot of things to contribute knowledge to your team, share knowledge, share ideas within your team. Also mentorship, giving and receiving, they both help. So this has been my personal, key to growth personally. So I always love to mentor people, and I always love to hear from them because I learn things as well from people. So you might think, this guy has known everything. No, I learn a lot of things from people, and I'm always open to, sharing ideas, but take value in continuous learning and giving back. If I learn something today that I feel like, oh, wow, this is interesting, I'm going to do a recording on it and just post it. Wow. Because I don't want to keep it to myself. Wow, I learned this cool thing today. Let me share this to people so they can also benefit from it. Those are the ways you learn as well. Those are the way you contribute. So that the way you grow personally. And these are also these are the importance of mentorship and different community. You meet with different people. Like LinkedIn is a huge community. You meet with different people on different levels. So if you are not the kind of person that has been impacted that has impacted that community in a positive way, it's going to be difficult for people to connect with you. So always try to like be of importance to the community. Let them value you. Let them know this person knows this thing. This person has contributed a lot of things to this community. This person is, what being a mentor. Things like that. So all these can also help to, when it comes to career growth. So this is one of the ways you can also build yourself and grow as you learn, continuously. Continuous learning is very, very important, and giving back. If I learn something today and I feel like, wow, this is interesting, something new, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to post it for other people to see, and they can also learn from it as well. So that is how you can grow together, and you can also have continuous relationship with people and your community. So let me say my advice for the career changers. Yeah, myself, I changed career from being a scientist or biological scientist to cybersecurity professional. So believe in your ability. Don't think like, I'm in this field. I don't think I can make it. Let me just stay where I am. No, you can always make it anywhere. You can always make it anywhere you are. You can always pivot anytime. The only thing you have to know is you have to be prepared. You have to be focused. You have to create that mentality in your head that, okay, this is where I'm going. What do I need to succeed in this field? And what do I need? How can I succeed in this field? Then you start believing I've done this in where I am before. I should be able to do this where I'm going as well. So all these things start to contribute to your ability, and you start building your confidence, confidence in excelling in that particular field. So believe in yourself is very, very important. Start small and start today. So don't say you want to wait till next year. I don't have time this year. Let me. So I've thought a lot this year has gone. I will start by January next year. Next year will come. I would ask them, Well, uh how is the preparation of transitioning to this? Are you ready now? Ah, my brother, I have so many things this year. Oh. I think I probably need to wait till middle of the year. Okay, no problem. Middle of the year will come. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Are you ready now? Ah, this year is halfway. They start pushing, 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 and that shows on seriousness. If you are not really ready, like if you are fully ready for something, you take action. So procrastination has killed a lot of people. Some people are in a field where they're not supposed to be at right now. Some people might be making good money, they're thinking they are doing well where they are, but trust me, that is not what is designed for them. But because they are comfortable where they are, they think that is the peak, that is the highest level they can get to. So don't delay your progress. You can start today and start thinking about how you make it in this way. So all these things will contribute, to in your progress. So now you will be successful in that particular field. Find your niche. Yes, I said before, it's not only penetration testing field that is in cybersecurity. When people hear about cybersecurity, they always think about it's only hacking, hacking. No, we have auditing, auditors, we have cybersecurity auditors, we have cybersecurity analysts, we have engineers and all that. We have network engineer, network security. They are all different fields with this. So look for something that you feel like this you get comfortable with. You can learn and grow fast in it. You'll be able to read and digest it quickly. This whatever that interests you, that is how you can be successful. Don't go with crowd because three of your friends or four of your friends are into ethical hacking. You also want to do it. It might not be for you. You know, if it won't be for you, look for something that you think of that you can think of like, okay, if it's GRC, if it's compliance, okay, go for it. Don't say because everybody is going somewhere, I also want to be, but no, you have to pick something that's interest. You have to pick something you can grow passion for, what you can, you know. All this will help you when you start learning in that particular field. You start to love it. You start to want to, like when I started pension, I always don't want to be on my computer every day. Sometimes I won't even eat until the evening because I enjoy what I'm doing. So that is it. When it comes to your job, if you get a job today, if you know what you're doing, you won't have problem. You won't even it won't even move you. But talk like if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, anytime I'm going to my job, I won't be happy. I've been in a job like that, that anytime I want to get to that one, I'll just be thinking, God, tomorrow I'm going again to this. What's going on? Trust me, after 2 months, I quit that job because I was doing what I'm not enjoying. 2 months, I spent 2 months in that job and I left because I wasn't enjoying it at all. So if you find your niche in this cybersecurity, look for something that interests you, and then start building yourself, start learning, start mingling with different people in that particular field too. They will tell you more about it. They can guide you. They will mentor you. Okay, you're coming. Okay, these are the challenges. This is how you can overcome all these challenges and obstacles. So that is also very, very, very important to take note when you're trying to advance, for any kind of career change. I think that's the end of the slide. So if there's any question, then I can welcome question. I will hand over to the host.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Okwe, for that amazing session. I believe we learned a lot. I will just be highlighting some things he mentioned. He mentioned that your curiosity must drive you. Ensure you read blogs and try to be on top of your game. Knowledge is very important. The key to growth is consistency. In cybersecurity field, things change over time, and you have to ensure that you always know what's happening and what is trending, right? Persistency is very key. Discover your passion, find a community of learners, engage in self-learning platforms. There are so many that are affordable. There are so many that are free. Give example of try hack me. Try building foundational knowledge, networking, operating system. Do not go a week without learning. That was one of the things that really hits me a lot. Try to have, try hack me has I think a streak. You can keep a streak. So let that motivate you. Don't go a week without learning, else you won't go, like you said. Don't give up. We all go through challenges in life. there is something called the imposter syndrome. So don't let it affect you. Try taking certifications. I know that pockets, like I said, pockets are different, but start with the basic ones and grow that way. Then also, when you have reached the peak of your career, you can try taking the OSCP, like you mentioned, is like the gold standard, but there are also other certifications that he also has that are also, very relevant today. Try engaging in projects, mini projects. It doesn't have to be something complex, but starts very simple. Try learning internships, right? And also, if you're also into freelance, that can be also a way to learn because you have the opportunity to be in several environments, right? And also, lastly, utilize LinkedIn empowerment, and from that platform you can be empowered and can meet and greet mentors like Mr. Okwe himself. So now we'll be taking some questions. However, before I take the on-site questions, we have some questions that those are registered asked, so through the form. So we'll be taking some of that, just a very few. So the first question I have here is what courses and Mr. Okwe, you can take off your slide now. So we just have you and I spotlight, yes. All right, so let me spotlight. Okay. Yes. All right. So now the question we have here for you is what courses and exams did you take to break into cybersecurity? You're muted. Okay, I'm sorry, let me unmute you.
Yeah, what course exam?
What courses and exams did you take to break into cybersecurity?
Oh, what course and exam I took? Okay. So I took my first certification was Security Plus, and
Okay.
that is more like an entry level certification CompTIA that every professionals have made. We recommend that just it will expose you to general knowledge in security field, and
Yeah.
due to the fact that I focus on pen testing, then I think I took the pen test plus as well. I took all the CompTIAs first because the computer exposed me to the knowledge part of it, to have the basic knowledge of security and pen testing. I did security plus, pen test plus, network plus as well, and CYSA plus. I think I did those four first. Then I did CEH as well. I completed all the CEH aside the last advanced, the one that is the I forgot the name, but the most advanced one. I didn't take that one, but I did CEH. Then I think after that, I took, let me see. Then I think I took CRT from cyber warfare before I got my first job. So I completed all the CompTIA. I did DJPT. Yeah, then too. I did
Yeah.
DJPT. After CompTIA, I did DJPT. I did CH. Then I did that CRT. Then I think back in 2022. So, or 2021. So I can't really remember again. But those are the kind of certification that kind of helped me to land my first position. When then I took a lot of certification even before my first position.
Mm.
I don't really remember all of them, but those are the ones I could remember that I took that time when I was searching for job, and at the same time I was taking certification to train every day. I was training, studying, you know, because sometimes you you don't want to you don't want to pause. You're looking for something, right? And you have to keep preparing yourself. Like, okay, what can I do again? Okay, how can I build my resume? Things like that. So I think that helped me a lot because I was consistent. I was consistent in my studies. I was consistent in my learning, and I was consistent in doing exam. I just took exam as passion. That's something I just love that time. I have that energy that time, but now I don't have the energy anymore. But then I have that energy. Like I'm always on my screen. I'm always doing something, things like that. So, but to answer your question, those are the few ones I could remember that I took that time.
All right, thank you very much. I think a follow-up question would be, since you didn't have a job at that time, so how were you able to pay for all these educations? Because these things are very expensive now, right? So that's like
I don't have a job in cyber at that time, but I was doing something else.
oh, all right, all right, all right.
So I was doing something else on the side that time, which gave me the opportunity to.
Give me, yeah, yeah, all right. Okay, so a question here is, What are the best beginner cybersecurity projects to do to enhance your resume and chances of securing an entry-level job or internship?
So for that one, let's say it might look small, but you can say like if it might be a small project, you can say you set up for example, you can set up an Active Directory lab. It's a
Yeah.
project. Trust
Mm-hmm.
me, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. I can set up Active Directory from if you give me computer, I will set up Active Directory. I will combine them with about 6 different machines. I will do for my head, like without even looking at anything, any notes, because I've done it 4 times. I know everything. I know the process. I know the so. But some people, for especially people that are just starting, it might be difficult for them. So it's a cool thing project to start with. Maybe you set up environment. It might not even be Active Directory. It might be something else, or it might be a tool that does something. You can have a GitHub
Mm-hmm.
page, so a GitHub account that you post all your tools. You can use, and in the era of this AI, it's easier, right? AI can help you generate something, and that it can help you up to 60 or 70%. You just need to put 30% effort. AI will definitely. I will upload some code to, for example, ChatGPT, and I will tell him to tell this ChatGPT to spot the problem, and it will tell me, oh, this line is not supposed to. So that is how, okay. If they tell me this is how it's supposed to be, so you
Mm-hmm.
can use approach, or you can use AI to build something out on your own, and as you're using it, you learn it as well. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of different projects. Like I said, when I was in school, I wrote a Python script. I didn't write the script 100% that time. I had to talk to someone to help me. But even though I understand that script, I understand what it does, I understand everything, but I wasn't good in Python. And I collaborated with that person, and he was able to help me. I was able to build that tool. So the only
Mm-hmm.
thing you have to do, once you run that tool in your environment, it will detect any app spoofing on your network.
Wow.
So you can think of anything creative, anything that someone else has not done, or maybe someone has done before. You can modify it. Okay, let me see how I can improve this thing this person has done. Let me see what it did. Let me see how I can, or let me see how other approach I can take. Things like so. There are so many things approach out there that you can take, and there are so many projects you can look into. But the most important thing is to be very, very distinct. Do
Mm.
something that is not common, that not a lot of people have done before. So that will kind of put you in the spot that, oh wow, this is different from all this stuff we've been saying, things like that. So yeah,
True.
sorry
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, so Active Directory Lab, you can try in doing that and also look into, like I said, some stuff people are not doing so much, so you can just be,
Mhm.
separated and be on the spotlight. So a question we have here is, what do you have to say to someone trying to incorporate tech into accounting?
Hmm. Is the person trying to switch, or he just
I,
want to cover?
I don't think this person trying. I think the person is trying to. The person is in accounting, right? But he's trying to incorporate tech into accounting, so probably to make his work better, or just like make a lot of things
Well,
autonomous. So
if you are doing accounting, I believe you are dealing with numbers, and there's always a logic flaws or something like that when it comes to numbers. If you are working in a bank, for example, and you're an accountant or you're doing accounting, you are dealing with different huge number of, let me say, maybe you're dealing with money.
mm,
And uh, and most of the time when we look at all these bridges and all that, we target financial organizations because that is where the money is. We target healthcare systems and all that. So if you want to incorporate cybersecurity, you have to expose yourself to. You have to understand technology. It's not about sitting on computer and be doing all your magic you do, at your job. Like, let me give you an example. There was a time, sometimes, I think about 2 years ago, my team was doing a physical pen testing, right? And we're testing some physical security of a particular company. This is, let me say, it's a bank basically. And you know what we did? We walked into this bank. We came in like a customer, right? And we, I sat in front of the lady like this. The lady was was operating something like that. I was just asking questions. And, you know, we're testing their physical security and how they are well exposed. And before you know it, I try to create a diversion and just try to make this person stand up on the phone. And I have a malicious USB that I can plug. And once I plug it, it's over, you know. So a lot of things like you should have like people monitor. Even if you are going to leave your desk, you should not leave your screen open. You have to. That's one of the training. You can't. If you want to leave your desk to do something else, don't leave your screen open. I can jump over and you always lock your screen every time you are leaving your desk. Lock it. So because if you don't lock it, anything I plug is going to automatically. But if it's locked, it won't work because my need authentication to log in to be able to make that work. So
True.
you have to, as an accountant, it's not about accounting. You have to understand technology. You have to understand the tools you are using. What do you use at your job? What are the security flaws or what are the security issues attached to this particular tool? How can this tool be affected with different kind of vulnerabilities? You have to expose yourself, understand the technology of what you are using. That's one thing I can say. If you are not trying to transit or you just want to incorporate cybersecurity in what you do, then you have to understand the technology behind it. You have to understand the technology about what you use, the platform you use, you know, get exposed. So if they send you a malicious email, you should be able to spot it like this is not real. All those things, you know, are the things that can help you to understand, and all these things you can incorporate, you know, into your job as an accountant.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Speaking of locking your system, so one experience I had during my internship, very funny one. I went to the second office just to like see my other colleague, and I left my system open. I did not lock it. And my supervisor came and sent a message to everyone in the department stating that they should come to my office to get pizza. Can you imagine? In fact, that was just a lesson, right? But you could have gotten worse, probably sending a mail to each other. I'm not interested in the job anymore. And I mean, something as bad as that. So very, very important, you know, that locking of your system. Oh, I've experienced it and it was very, very bad. All right. So someone is saying, very funny question here. Do you think biology would give you the life you wanted when you decided to study it?
So let me tell you, when I studied biology, I never wanted it. That's the first thing. I never wanted it. You know how the Nigerian system works now?
Yeah.
They give you something else, and you want to gain admission to university, you'll be staying home for about 2-3 years without admission, and they eventually give you admission. You say you still want to stick with that thing. So for me, it's not like I wanted to study it, but it was just the option I have that time. I just take it at that time, but it was never something I wanted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even when I left, I was like, I'm not doing this again. Even people that study all these programs here in the US, you can't compare them with people in the health system or in the tech. It's so.
Yeah. All right. So someone asks that what was your pivot to get into the US? So was it a job? How did you get into that space?
It wasn't a job. I came to visit and decided to stay.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So everybody's story is different. Like you said, it's not a job that took him. He came to visit and decided to stay and establish. All right. So okay, let me take this question here. Okay, someone is saying, how should professionals work with or work around unexpected career paths in ways that keep them relevant in their industries? How should professionals work with or work around unexpected career paths in ways that keep them relevant in their industries?
Trying to understand that.
So I think probably how should professionals work with, for example, now biology, you didn't want to be in biology, so imagine like that's the only option you had. So what do you feel like you would have done that probably make you relevant to that industry? I think that's what the person is trying to say. Yeah.
Well, that is a very cool.
That question, eh?
Well, for me personally, I study biology, but like I said earlier, that I transfer a lot of skills from there, analytical thinking, details, and all that, paying attention to details. For me personally, I won't say there's much, honestly, but there's nothing's too small as well. You can always work around things, no matter how different professionals you met, different levels of people you've met, or cross paths with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a biologist and I'm a biologist and I meet someone in the cybersecurity, right? I should be able to say something, even if I don't know anything about tech. But so sometimes what your way of thinking from where you are, you can still contribute something to it. Like, okay, oh wow, I do something in this project when I was in. Everybody is different. Like every department is different. So, but you still do something. You still do a project. You still work on something. You still think. You still do analytical thinking. You still do like research. And research is everywhere. So you can use that to contribute, and all those skills can never be useless.
Mm.
So researching is everywhere. You can research you research everywhere in different fields. So it's part of the skill. If you are being a kind of person that does research every time, when you
Mm.
transfer, when you move into cybersecurity, the other thing is still in your brain. You still want to continue doing it. So
Mm.
I don't know if that
Mm.
answers that question,
Yeah,
but
yeah, definitely it does. It does. The question is kind of very confusing, but yeah, you just that someone is saying, how can I join your mentorship in cyber? How can it be your mentee? I think that's the question the person trying to ask. There's a typo there.
I mean, my inbox is always open anytime.
Yeah,
I'm very active on LinkedIn more compared to other platforms.
other point.
When it comes to being you can always DM me and ask your question. If I don't
Yeah,
reply immediately, trust me, I'm going to reply you. My
yeah,
because I'm on different platform. Sometimes it might
yeah,
take some time to even open my DM to reply.
yeah.
But trust me, if I see your DM, I will definitely answer you.
Yeah, so definitely reach out. You can reach out to him on LinkedIn too. Also, you can check out his videos too on YouTube. He's also a content creator. I mean, cybersecurity and content creation. That's a massive combination. All right. So the last question we have before we take the on-site questions. Someone said, can we make it a physical class? Can we make it a physical class next time? Maybe when we're on a bigger scale, we would sponsor Mr. Okwe's flight. I know, put him in a hotel
Okay.
and suite. He'll be there, you know.
That will be very difficult. I can only
Very
do
Yeah,
very,
that's
very
just that's a joke. I mean, a lot of the world now we are in is, I mean, everybody's doing things virtually. So yeah. All right. So before we take the on-site questions, would this will be our photo session. So I want everyone to turn on their cameras, please. Shine your teeth. Gabriel, thank you for turning your camera if I asked you. Everyone, please. Um, let's turn on our cameras so we can have our brief photo session like we always do. So we'll go into the on-site questions and would wrap the session up. All right, please. I don't want to start calling names. Please, let just we don't really have time. But it's just important that we take this. Venom Bite, Stella, Walia. Are you all right? Let me take the ones we have here. All right. Okay. Yes, we can see you. User. Walia, Stella, Abubakar, Venom Bite. Just have a few minutes. I'm sure we have on-site questions. All right, great. All right, so I'm waiting for Walia, waiting for Venom Bites and Stella. Mm. Please let us smile. Okay. We don't really have more time. We're working on a schedule, so it's fine. I've taken the pictures already. So we'll give room for on-site questions. If you have any questions you'd like to ask Mr. Okoye, you can just signify. I would unmute you and you can speak. Anyone? All right, so Mr. I have a question for you. So if you wanted to start your career all over from the beginning, from scratch, without biology, how would you start your career, cybersecurity? You want to start from the beginning, from day one, start today, how would you start? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I need to unmute you. Okay. Yes, you can speak now.
Okay. Basically the layout I gave earlier, start with open-minded, be very open, take it as something that you want to be sustained, you want to be successful in, I would think of it like, okay, I want to go into cybersecurity. What career do I think let me say the first thing I'm going to do is to do research within this. Okay, what are the field within this cybersecurity that I think I might be interested in? Once I do that, I'm going to have different lists of different field, right? And I'm going to look at all of them one by one. Okay, what does this entails? What does these people do? Then that will kind of build my interest. Like, okay, I think this one is more interesting. I think I can love this one. Then from there, I will narrow it down to one. So once I pick that one, then I'll start to dig into research on it, how to get started on it. Okay, what platform can I use? What training can I start to take that can help me to build my career on this part? So I'll start doing that, looking to do a lot of research, utilizing different platforms available for learning. Then I'll make sure I'm consistent in my learning. I'll make sure I have a timetable set every week to study. Not only study, but at the end of the week, I'm going to make a revision of what I've studied that week. I will have to create a notes for it. This is what I've studied in this week. This is my achievement this week. Then the following week, I'll pick something else. Like, okay, what am I going to study this week again? I'll make sure I have consistency about that. It's very, very important. Set a number of hours, even if I'm working, even if I'm not working, or if I'm working part-time, I will make sure I set some certain number of hours every week or every day to study. Like, okay, let me stay. It's not even about the number of hours. You can spend 30 minutes and learn something. So a lot of people, if you stay 2, 3 hours, they might not even gain anything. So 1 hour or 2 hours, if that's what you have, utilize it very well. I would say, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is my study days, right? Monday, I'm studying 1 hour on this one. Tuesday, I'm studying 1 hour on this one. Wednesday, I'm studying 1 hour on this one. Maybe Saturday, I can now say, okay, I've studied 3 things in this week. Let me review all of them to make sure I understand it fully. So that, for instance, that will be consistent for at least 6 months. At least 6 months. Then from there, I start to network myself with people. As I'm studying, I'll be trying to meet people, different professionals that are into that particular field. Okay, they will, I can DM anyone like, I'm still very new in this. What can you share with me? How do you think I can be successful? Everybody will contribute different things to your life. So this one is his own piece of advice. Okay, this is how I started. This is what I think you can do. This is what you can do better. You move to the next. So you connect with people within that niche. You connect to them. You ask questions. You join their Discord group. You participate in different challenges if you feel like you're, getting stronger and you've acquired some knowledge. And you try to meet with people on your level as well. You can create a group that can combine of different people. It might not be too much people, but more like a study group. Like myself, I have a study group. And we are three in that group. We're just three. And what we do in weekends, we just talk about whatever. If I'm running a course, I can just show them some stuff like, oh, this was going. We're just three in that group. So you can create different group, talk with different people that are doing the same thing you are. They share knowledge and ideas. And I swear you're also doing your own personal training. So if you do that consistently, by the time you do like 6 months, 8 months, you become like, you yourself will be like, how did I know all these things within this? Because you are consistent. Consistent is very, 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 very important. You understand? So you have to be very consistent. So as if I'm starting, that is the way I'm going to start, and that is the way I'm going to start building myself as well. And with consistency, you get to the top.
Thank you very much. I mentioned consistency. Just like if you are gymming and you're not consistent, if you don't continue the next day, you understand? So consistency is the key. All right. So we have a question. I think he has answered this question already. The person said, for someone that is just starting cybersecurity and has not gotten the hands-on path to follow, how does one navigate through to actually know what to do?
Yeah, I already said it. Now set up your own lab.
Set up your lab.
That's focus on what you're doing. It's very, very important. So if you want to become a penetration tester, you must have a active directory, your small lab. You must have an attacking system. You must have a victim system. You must be able to, read. Once you have that environment, then you can start reading different blogs on different attacks or different vulnerabilities. Then you practice all those vulnerabilities. You use their work. I always tell people, don't feel bad if you see a walkthrough and replicate it. It's for learning. A lot of people don't want to look at their work. It's not, it doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't know, it doesn't, what you're trying to do is to learn. It's focused on learning. That is the key point you're going to look into. It's not about looking at that particular walkthrough. I read a lot of walkthroughs myself. Right? If I'm doing something and I feel like I've been on this thing for hours or days and I'm not getting it, I will just search if there's a walkthrough for it and I will read it. And by reading it, I understand, oh, this is what I'm missing. Okay, I'll put that in my note. I already know. So if I meet that kind of problem in another lab or somewhere else, I will remember, oh, I've done this thing before. Now it's on my notes. Let me check it. Let me see how I solve it then. So that is the essence of walkthrough. The essence of walkthrough is to learn something so that you won't, if you run into that same problem in another place or in another lab, you must have known that, oh, I've done this in the past. Yes. And even if you don't know, even if you can't remember at that particular time, you have a note for it, then you can go back to your note. That's why I said note keeping is very, very important. You now go back to your notes. Oh, this is how I solve it that time. Then you cannot solve it. So don't limit yourself. Hands-on is very, very important. As you're learning, you're having the knowledge, the hands-on also is very, very important. Set up your own lab. If you don't want to do, if you don't want to do Active Directory or any network pen testing, if you want to focus on web application, we have Consiga, which is free. Consiga Academy is free for everybody. If you want to learn web, I know someone that is what he used to learn web. He focused on it and he solved everything. He never used any paid platform. Imagine, he utilized the available resources to learn, and it now is very, very good. When it comes to web pen test, I don't think I can even stand with him at all. He's very, very good when it comes to web. So you also can utilize that if you feel like, okay, I want to learn more of web, because a lot of people love web. Me personally, I don't really love web like that. Even though I can do it, but I still do it now, but it's not something I enjoy doing more. But some people love it. I know a lot of people that love web application testing, and I always tell people I can't compete with those people. Let them just take that one. You understand? So utilize the available platform. If you feel like, okay, you want to focus on web, you can use a lot of different platforms which is free. And if you feel like, okay, you want to do something on network Active Directory pen testing, set up your own lab. If you don't know how to set up, there are videos out there that you can use to set it up. You know, I've set up, I can't count the number of lab I've set up and activity. I will destroy lab, I've set up, I will destroy it, I will rebuild it again. So I already know the process. And before I know that, I've watched different videos on how to set it up, you know. So utilize that to help you to gain more hands-on experience.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Mr. Lope is very big on AD, so you can check out his YouTube channel. Gabriel, do you have a question? It seems like you'll do. All right, okay, this is our last question for today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Most of the things you said so far, a lot of things that I've been trying to incorporate for myself. But my question is regarding what you are doing currently. So in let's say your organization, as you are working currently, what roles in your organization you are a pen tester, I know, but what roles do you see in your organization that you envy a lot, right? You say, I like this particular role too. It's also very popular, or a role where in your organization, they're actually employing lots of people in that particular role more than pen testing. Is there any role like that, or is just pen testing? Penetration testing is actually very popular in your organization currently.
So the company I work for currently is a huge company in the US. It's a pharmaceutical company in the US. And I can't speak of other departments because even my own department is called threat simulation team. That is the team I belong to. And under threat simulation team, we have application security and we have the red team. And I belong to the red team. So I don't know what is going on in the application security. That is one thing. It's a very huge company, and I can't really tell you a lot. But personally, my own job, I do a lot of red team and purple team activities. That is what I do most time. We have dedicated application security team that focuses on our applications. That what they do is just web application or mobile, whatever application that's out there. But me personally, I do red team activities and purple team activities more. For the last 2 years now, I've never done web. I only do web on my other job. But in my current full-time job, I don't do web. I've never done any web for the last 2 years. I don't even know anything about it. So I can't really answer that in my own company based on how they hire people in another position because it's a very huge company and I can't really tell what's going on in another department. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but that is just what I know as of now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's not easy to give that kind of
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir, for the answer. And also, thank you very much for your time. Sorry, Gabriel, can you mute yourself? Yeah. So I've come to the end of today's session, but like we always do, before we come to the end, we have to say what's happening next. So I will share my screen in a bit. Just let me know when you can see my screen. Okay. All right. So yes, our next session is June, right? So and we're bringing up a very special guest, very big one, very big guest. Topic for that session is the ideal six-figure cybersecurity professional, right? And you don't want to miss it. It's a very big YouTuber. And I'll give you a hint. He has also Mr. Okpa has also featured on his channel before, right? So he's a very big person in cybersecurity field. So do well to join in for the next session, right? So that will be all for today. Today was amazing. Please, I want you to go to Mr. Okwe's LinkedIn profile. Under the repost I did, please comment how amazing the session was. Follow him, YouTube, follow him, speak about how interesting this was. I mean, I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. And that's the advantage of these sessions we have. It feels like, oh, I learned a lot. I have a lot of jottings right now. And I mean, imagine you doing this for 1 year. The amount of knowledge you would acquire would be crazy. So everyone, thank you for joining. Mr. Okwe, thank you for your time. I really appreciate this. Has been, I've stressed you a lot. I know we should have this program for one time and it's really crazy. But thank you very much, sir, for your time and for supporting us. We really thank you. All right, thank you everyone for joining this session. Do well to check YouTube. The recording is there. You can always go back and watch it. Drop a like, drop a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to comment under Mr. Okwe's post on LinkedIn. Thank you everyone for your time. I'll see you when I see you. June 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. WAT. Bye everyone.